LAFC 92. When you were still in the church and someone showed you a pack of information on an SP or a hate website, would you and others not think it was strange / unethical / illegal that they were using what was supposed to be confidential information? Would you, at the time where you were still fully in, ever be scared that someone would look and or use your confidential information given in auditing? Well, here's the thing. When I was being shown what were called dead agent packs in Scientology, which are packs of information put together about stories or individuals who are anti-Scientology or have been speaking out against Scientology in order to make that person seem uncredible. That's basically the point of a dead agent pack, is to make the person not believable, catch them out in lies and dishonesty. Because if they're lying about that, then they're probably lying about this too, right? Would be the idea. When I was shown those sorts of packs, one, I had a vested interest in believing them because I wanted Scientology to be true. I wanted it to be real. So I would give more credence to the information than I really should have. I didn't really, view it with a critical eye. But two, I didn't know that what I was being shown came necessarily from the person's auditing sessions. It's not like it was labeled that way. Here's a piece of information about this person. Sally Sue, was a prostitute before she joined Scientology or something. Well, there are multiple places in Scientology that information could come from besides an auditing session. And when you're in the world of Scientology, these little niceties kind of matter, right? If you go in to talk to an ethics officer because a KR was written on you, that's not confidential. There's nothing going on there that is anyone has to keep a secret necessarily. You would expect that ethics officers would kind of keep their mouths shut, but your ethics file and the ethics information and knowledge reports that are written on you aren't stamped with confidential, priest-penitent, privileged information, right? Your PC folders are. So if something gets over into the ethics space or into the ethics area or into knowledge reports, then it's kind of a free-for-all as to where that information ends up in the world of Scientology. And that was always where I figured that kind of information was coming from. Life histories. When you come into Scientology, there's an extensive form that is filled out as a staff member, as a Sea Org member, I should say. Public don't necessarily do these life histories until they want to go on to the OT levels. Then they have to do a form of a life history as well. But at the lower levels, they don't. But as a staff member, Sea Org member, absolutely they do. And this is everyone you've ever had sexual activity or relationships with, who your parents, your family, your friends, list them all out. What's your relationship with them? Any diseases, any chronic illnesses, your education, where'd you go, what'd you think of it? What's your day-to-day life like? I mean, it's pages and pages and pages of information. Not confidential. Right? Doesn't necessarily go into your PC folder. It goes into your personnel file as a staff member or Sea Org member. That doesn't have a confidential stamp on it. So, point being, when I was shown these DA packs, these dead agent packs, I didn't have the idea that I was being shown confidential, priest-penitent, privileged information. Never really occurred to me that that was the source of the information. And therefore, it never occurred to me that my confidential information that I had divulged in auditing sessions would ever be used against me should I leave Scientology and start speaking out against it. Just really wasn't part of my thought process.